Happy New Year and welcome to 2022. We are going to start out January hard with loads of classes. We're going to be practicing 5 days a week, every week throughout the month. So this is the first class and we are going to start, you are going to hate me, I'm sorry, but we are going to start with glutes today. So come lying down. I'm going to start on our backs. Ease your way into a false sense of security. Knees bent, feet flat on the ground. And close your eyes and start breathing through your nose. Feel your belly expand on your inhale. And also feel that expansion coming into your back. Feeling it in between your back ribs, in between your shoulder blades. And then slowly start to curl up into a shallow bridge. They're not really going back bend. What I want is to turn on your glutes. And then roll back down. Back up into that shallow bridge. And down. And up. And down. And take your knees to your chest, grab the outside of your feet, and come into a happy baby. And feel free to explore here. And that can happen simply just by moving a little from side to side, moving the knees a little closer down to the ground, or maybe even straightening the legs. Whatever feels appropriate for you today. And then take your knees to your chest, roll back and forth, come up to seated. Hands to your knees, just take a few circles, get that movement into your spine and your belly. Change direction. And make your way onto all four. Turn your hands around so your fingertips are pointed towards your knees and lean back. And come back to center. Move into your cat-cow exploration. You're just moving with your own breath. Remember, this is a great time to slow the breath down, slow the movement down, so you really start to feel the movement. You start noticing every single vertebra. And of course, there's room for side stretching, hip circling, neck circling. So don't be afraid of going a little weird. If you can feel, ooh, there's a little muscle there that needs some love, go with it. And then come to center. I want you to lift your right leg up, point your toes, and I want this thigh to be the same level as your belly. And here's the one to watch out for, because as we start this movement, this leg is gonna wanna go down. So this is a constant conversation you're gonna have with yourself. Keep lifting, keep lifting. So like this, rotating the top of your thigh bone, I want you to start internal, external rotation of that leg. So this is not happening in your knee, it's happening at the top of your thigh. And as I just said, keep lifting. This thigh is going to want to go down because that's a lot easier. So you're just going to keep rotating from side to side. Keep going. So this is addressing the glute medius. Good morning. Come to center, straighten the leg, turn your toes out to the side so there's an external rotation of that leg, and I want you to pulse up. And yeah, your glutes are burning by now. You're welcome. Keep going. And come down to center. Ooh, maybe put a little bit of movement in there. Over to the other leg. Lift that left leg up. Again, keep it lifted and start your internal, external rotation. Notice if that thigh is starting to go down. Straighten the leg, turn the leg out to the side, or externally rotate the leg out to the side, still pointing backwards, but the toes are pointing out to the side, and pulse up. Still breathing through your nose. When this gets uncomfortable, and it probably is by now, focus on your breath. And take it down. Come back into a child's pose. A little stretch in there. Tuck your toes, lift your hips up and back. Keep your knees bent. Take your spinal rolls, rolling forward vertebra by vertebra. Lower your hips, open up your chest. And roll back. One more time. And walk it out. Find that first dog of the day. Inhale, lift your right leg up, bend the knee, open up the hip. Exhale, step forward, come into a high lunge. And lower your back knee down just to hover off the ground and back up. Down and up. Down and up. Hands down to the mat. Step back to plank pose. Come all the way down onto your belly. Inhale, take a cobra. Doesn't matter that it's a baby cobra. You don't need to be this high. Roll your shoulders back and down. Engage your glutes. And down. Take a few more. Moving with your own breath. tuck your toes, plank pose. Downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg up. Exhale, step forward, come into your lunge. And again, you're going to lower the knee down for 3, 2, 1. Hands to the mat. Step back to plank pose. And come all the way down onto your belly. Place your hands in front of you. You can rest your chin on your hands. And then spread your legs apart a little so your feet are a bit off the mat. Bend your knees. Take the bottom of your feet together, just like a Baddha Konasana, butterfly. Activate by pressing your feet together. Lift your legs. Ooh, this one is killer. Keep it lifted. Keep pressing your feet into each other. And release. Feel free to release a little just by moving your lower legs. If you're feeling a bit of cramping. We're going to do one more. Bottom of your feet together. Activate and lift. And release. Tuck your toes. Lift up into a plank pose. Downward facing dog. Inhale. Lift your right leg up. Exhale, step forward. Come into a warrior 1. Keep pressing into that back foot. Then come into a warrior 3. Hands to your heart. And then I want you to put some bend in that standing leg. Just to make that thigh and glute work a little harder, because why not? Slowly come up. Keep hovering your left foot. Come into a one-legged chair. And lift. Step back to a warrior 2. And again, lots of energy going to that back foot, making ourselves a little lighter on the front knee. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, windmill down. Walk your hands to your left, come into a wide-legged forward fold. Notice that even if your heart rate is going up, you're still breathing through the nose. You're still breathing slow and consistent. Inhale, come halfway up, lengthen. Exhale, bend your left knee, take Skandasana, your variations. It's always okay if you need to be up here supporting yourself, just kind of taking more of a skater pose. This is a great place to be. Maybe you're all the way down here. Maybe it's somewhere in between. So remember, this is about keeping your practice honest. Don't let your ego run away with you and be like, the lady on the screen is doing this. That's okay. You can be a super fit and very capable yogi, and this is not working for you. Then don't do it. Lift back up. Walk your hands to the front. Take a standing split. Hands to your heart. And bend your back knee and take it to the back of the front knee. Shiva squat. Lift back up. And Shiva squat. One more. Lift. Shiva squat. Lift. Step back to plank pose. Vinyasa. Inhale, lift your left leg up. Exhale, warrior 1. Warrior 3. Again, put that bend on your knee, on your standing knee. Let it marinate. Slowly come up, come into that one-legged chair. Step back to Warrior 2. Notice if your shoulders have suddenly become your earrings. You're not lifting your arms with your ears. So find a little bit of softness. Reverse. Windmill down. Walk your hands to the right. Take a wide-legged forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bend your right knee. Your version of Skandasana. Walk your hands to the front. Standing split. Hands to your heart. Wobbling is okay. Losing your balance is okay. Shiva squat. And back up. Shiva squat. And back up. One more. Shiva squat. And back up. Step back to your plank pose. Vinyasa. Inhale, lift your right leg up. Exhale, step forward, come into a pigeon pose. Sit up tall, get that length in the pose first. Remember, it's always okay to put a block or blanket underneath that right butt cheek. You can also put it underneath this left hip flexor. Kind of has the same effect. And soften into the pose. Pay attention to your right knee. So if your right knee is bothering you, you're going too deep. So again, you're going to let go of your ego and come back out a little. Find something that's working for you. Come back up. Step back to down dog. Walk out. Get the fidgets out. Lift your left leg. And set up your pigeon. Again, take that time to find the length in the front first. And then sink down. Slowly come back up. Step back to downward facing dog. Walk it out. And then walk to the front of your mat. Bend your knees, make your way all the way down onto your butt. Roll your back down. Feet about sit bones are hip width apart. Activate all four corners of your feet into the mat. Activate the back of your shoulders into the mat. So you're lifting that upper part of your spine, but without scrunching your shoulder blades together. There's still space. Lift up into a bridge pose. This time it's no longer a shallow bridge like at the start of the class. We're still working the glutes really hard, but we're also in a back bend. And slowly lower back down. Keep that natural curve in your spine. Come back up. Bridge pose. And lower down. One last back bend. If full wheel is in your practice, feel free to go there. Otherwise, take another bridge. And slowly lower down. Take your knees to your chest. Curl into a ball. You're moving very slowly and gently because all your back muscles just worked really hard going the opposite direction. And now you're stretching them. So you don't want to just pull yourself into this ball. Be nice. Roll up to seated. Feet out in front. Knees bent. Take your right leg underneath the left. Walk your left foot over. If this is where you are, this is a good place to be. Otherwise, take it into full cow face. Grounding both of your sit bones. You can sit right here. Just work on releasing. You might be feeling this kind of outside hip glute area. So I've been working a lot today. And if you feel you have the space, please feel free to move into a forward fold. Come back up. And come over to the other side. Again, grounding your sit bones. Focus on that slow, deep nasal breathing. Come back up. Make your way down onto your back. Hug your knees to your chest. And let your left leg come flat down. Keep hugging that right knee and take a twist. Come back to center. And make your way over to the other side. Come back to center. Find your Shavasana. Let your whole body relax. Close your eyes. And stay here as long as you need. Thank you for practicing with me. Namaste.